Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Bana baluna amunibona fa kina mwanana kondo zeni fita watengiza sabisa zeni batafela kibupilo bobunde kuya kwa sikolo nikuchaka hobe mawe manyando buhule sikolo limba barikani watundu manyanda ya luzweza bwanana waluna sichaba mutuse Kimani akatusaba na waluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna. Kimani akatusaba na baluna.
Hi Susan, how are you? Hi Susan. Susan, how are you?
Network.
Susan, I can hear you.
Kunde chalo lileti bakuteke chalo kanove uzambirire bachuku zambirila nobody shuku ngebose bakwanisha bambi bafyalilo akumushi tibonse bakwanisha okusambira mu Zambia chikonga feneko wafyalilwe nga wafyalilwa mukalale awonesho alishuka kusambirila abana mu mishi amasukulu kwenda makilometers so abengi balabira okusambirila nefiloto fyabo.
Hello, I could see you and I could hear you.
Kimani akatusaba na baluna.
Yes. But you could see me, right? Hello? You could see me. I was playing some music. So let's try again. Can you is your microphone on? Okay, let's try again. I'll connect you. Connect with you and then let's try.
And that you could see and hear me.
Hello, Susan.
But I can't get what you're saying.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
You can hear me now?
I get you, but you're just a bit low. My headset.
Maybe you can try using it.
If you have to allow it, speak so that are you getting?
I can't get what you're saying.
A speaker?
There's only one, there's a mic.
So we are getting ready. I'm sorry for the delay, but we're getting ready. So Susan is not in Lusaka. She's somewhere out of Lusaka, and we are trying to get her connected. So as soon as we get connected, we'll be back. We'll start the program. So meanwhile, we are sending girl children to school. Yes.
Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Bana baluna, amunibona fa, kina mwanana. Kondo zeni fita, watengiza sabisa. Zeni watafela kibupilo, wobunde. Kuya kwa sikolo, nikuchaka hove. Mawe manyando, buhule sikolo. Limba walikani, watundu. Manyando ya luzweza wanana, waluna. Sichama mo.
Hello, Susan. Can you hear me now?
Mr. John. Right.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, but you're kind of breaking.
Okay, I think it's a little bit. It's due to bad network. Can you hear me now? Susan? Can I try to use headset? Yeah, I'm paying my headset more badly. Not to break.
To say, Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Bana baluna.
Ifunde lya chalo lilete bakuteke chalo kanove usambirire navyo bachukusambirira nombali shuku ndebonse bakwanisha bambi bafyalilwa kumushi tibonse bakwanisha okusambira mu Zambia chikonka feneko wafyalilwe nga wafyalilwe.
Hello, Susan.
Then I think there's something wrong.
So, good evening, everyone who's tuned in. I'm still trying to get Susan come through. I think she's here. Hey, Susan. So we can hear you. You can start the program. So Susan will be telling us, will be sharing a story. Yes. Can you hear me now? Yes. So Susan, we can hear you loudly and clear. You can. Sorry?
Yes, but you're just breaking.
Breaking. Okay, so I can get you clearly, meaning that you can also, the viewers can watch you clearly. Yeah, so you can continue. Okay, okay, so you can continue. You can tell the people your name, you can introduce yourself, and then you can take us into your presentation today. Susan?
Good evening. My name is Susan Mwape. I'm from Zambia. Today's topic is inequality. I'll first start by defining what inequality is. Inequality is the state of being uneven.
Susan?
Inequality is how taking this topic to persons with albinism. Inequality starts from our family, then goes to communities, then schools, its world, and the government. With families where
Susan?
Mukalale aonesho alishuka kusambirila abana mumishi amasikulu kwenda makilometers so abengi balafila okusambirila nefiloto fyabo ebyofuwa kimani akatusaba n'abaluna kimani akatusaba n'abaluna kimani yakatusaba n'abaluna baluna. Kimani, 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 akatusaba na baluna.
Bana baluna.
Education mukwai. Access to education, quality of education, byali sana important. Nga wafyalirwa mu tawuni awo nisho walishuka ukakwata ba teacher na classroom n'amakompyuta nga washuka bati nga wafyalirwa kumushi awo ne filosofi obe kufu aferire linyole efyalo. Kimani, Kimani, akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, 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 akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, 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 akatusaba na baluna. Kimani, 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 akatusaba na baluna.
Bana baluna.
Chiranganda nomba chiri kwati padi janki. Abama janki, tekwe bati bafyalwa ba janki. Mise pera shireshi fyalwa kubantu, nomba katuishi mumabodo muba immigration nga bala shipula, nga mawaya yadi tudika, nga richi geti tachisalika, uko kupita ama drugs ayo mise pera betati volo. Nga pepa atampo kushipula umubiri ofo wisa mukupwa no aye zirimo abakona bwino. Abama janki bantu bafyalwa ku bantu ero nomba baisa abachinja kufintu ifwe filete abantu muno chalo chesu icha Zambia.
Ambaye yanga nifunza ni chani chinivuta kumtima. Atate yanga anifunza ni chani chinivuta kumtima. Umoyo wanga wazula mona manda niyopa kukamba. Ni
Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to connect with Susan Mwape, who is our guest today. She's not in Lusaka, she's somewhere else. And so network challenges, we're trying to do everything possible that we can so then we can connect with her. Otherwise, the program is still on and we'll do everything we can to connect with Susan. And just asking for your patience, and she's gonna come on as soon as we get the network happening, the internet fairly soon. As soon as we get connection, she's gonna join us. Meanwhile, I'll keep entertaining you with the music, and like now I'm thinking that maybe I'm a DJ.
G-Show Records production. Kimani, Kimani, Kimani.
Hey, good evening, Susan.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, very fine. Now I can hear you clearly and laka. So, Susan, we are already in the program. You can just introduce yourself and then go on with your story, with what you want to share with the people.
Okay. My name is Susan Mwape. I'm from Albinism Foundation of Zambia, Lusaka. Today, I'm talking about inequality. Inequality is the uneven or unsmoothness. When I go to College English Dictionary, it says the economic or social disparity. or the unsmoothness or regularity. That's how I understand inequality. Now, taking this to us persons with albinism, inequality starts with our families. From families, it goes to community. From communities, it goes to the corporate world, schools, and the government at large. To qualify this that I've stated, in families, you find that you are rejected right from the time that you are born. Your parents don't treat you equally with your siblings. You are rejected. All those kind of things, they come in. Whereby even your own dad wouldn't even want to sit with you, or your mom wouldn't want to eat with you, your brothers would do this and that. It just starts from there. When we come to the community, name calling, mocking, you are just moving, people spitting in their breast, all those kind of things, inequality. When we come to schools, even when a teacher knows that, okay, this person has got challenges with eyes, they won't even consider that. As long as they put their work on the board, they expect you to write what they've written. They won't even assist you with anything. The issue of mocking continues even in schools, name calling, spitting. You even feel uncomfortable. Some of persons with albinism have even stopped school because of such. They cannot continue. When we come to the corporate world, it's another story again. These companies, they think persons with albinism cannot do anything because of their skin color or maybe their sight. You find you go looking for jobs, just looking at you, they'll be there, they'll just tell you, we'll call you. Even when they know that you are qualified for that job. There's an incident that I went through at some point when I went looking for a job. I went there, I had full papers. I found a small girl who was a grade 9 dropout. She went in and she was given a job. When I went in, I presented everything. Then they asked me, with your skin, can you sit in the heat? I said yes, because at home, yes, I do cook. But just there and then they just said, we'll call you. So you see, just there and there, we're not given that. Inequality is there in the corporate world. When we go to the government, I feel the government hasn't done enough, because they would have put deliberate laws for us to protect us persons with albinism. They would have taken a leading law in employing us persons with albinism. I would love for them to look at that. If they did that, us persons with albinism would be happy, and even the community would have taken us equally. Lastly, my plea to everyone is that they should take persons with albinism equally, because albinism is not a sickness, nor is it a disease. Albinism is not a case.
So
We're
Susan,
just persons like everyone else. We hope with this small presentation that I've put up that persons would have equality.
So Susan, just a quick question. Can you share with the viewers your dreams? What would you like to be when you are done with school? What is your dream as a human being?
Okay. I had a dream before I completed my education. I wanted to be a nurse.
Yes.
Yes.
What happened? You said you had a dream. You don't have it now.
Yes, that was the most that I wanted ever since I was young. But due to certain circumstances, that dream changed. My dream right now is hoping to fight for the rights of persons with albinism. Yes.
So I want to understand. Do you know anyone from your community whose dreams have been changed or abandoned because there wasn't enough support or because society didn't accept them? Or do you know anyone in that situation?
There are a lot.
What do they say? What happened to them? Why do you feel they change? What do they say made them change their dreams?
Rejection. And the same thing of inequality that we're talking about. Yes, I have a friend that I would tell you about. She's in Dola, I think, in Copperbelt.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. She also had a dream, but her dream was cut short. She stopped her education in grade 9. When you ask her, the reason why she stopped her school is that people were laughing at her. When she asked someone for notes, they wouldn't give her the notes. So those were the challenges that she was going through. So since then, right now she just stays home. That's how her dream was cut short.
How do you feel? How would you want society to respond to the needs and of people with albinism? How would you want society to respond? How would you want us to respond?
I would love the society to treat us equally like everyone else, because we're also human beings. Just the skin color, the lack of melanin cannot separate us. We're one person, one human being. I breathe just like everyone. I eat, I drink, I go to bed, I bath. I'm a human being. I just want them to treat us equally.
You talked about classroom. Is there a school in Zambia that you know where there are facilities put in place specifically for people with albinism, where you don't have to struggle to see what's written on the board?
There are no schools like that, but there's a school, Lions, in Dola. That school is for persons who are visually impaired. So persons with albinism are forced to learn Braille because of that.
The whole country, that's the only option is that.
That's the only option, of course.
So, I want to. It's difficult to imagine that whilst we have Zambians with albinism, there isn't any space so clearly designed for people with albinism. What would you like
You
to?
see, that's why I'm saying equality. That's where also inequality comes in. You get?
Yes,
Even the
I do.
government knows that in society we have this kind of people. They would have at least put up such a thing. We have sites we can see, but just for them to enlarge their things or their books, just to put them in large print and stuff. That would be all for us. Would be very happy if they would do such things. But we are forced to go and do braille.
Do you know any person with albinism who would like to be the president of this country? Whose dream is to
Yes,
become president of Zambia?
yes.
What do
There's
they
a
do now?
certain
Yeah.
there's a certain guy, yes. He's in he's in Dollar. I guess he was supposed to be doing grade 11 right now. His other
Mm.
dream was to be a president. That was his dream, in fact. He told me that last year. Was like, you know what, Susan? I want to be a president. And when I become a president, I would love to change certain things and put
Mm.
them in the position that they would be.
Yeah. So does he still have the same dream, or he has changed the dream?
Ah, since he's in grade 11, I'm
Mm.
guessing his dream is still alive.
Still becoming president. You, I want to understand, because your dreams, Susan, are still valid. Zambia is your home, and you have the rights and the privileges of every that has been assigned to every Zambian. So you have the right to dream, and you have the right to pursue that dream to come true.
But our dreams are being scattered.
There are so many people that are watching you right now,
Mm.
and can you tell them why not to stamp on your dreams? Because it's Zambia cannot survive with the dreams of the few coming true. Zambia needs the ideas of people like you. Zambia needs the ideas of people like me. Zambia needs the dreams and the ideas of every Zambian to bring together, to contribute to our discussions, to our strategy development, to everything, to the table. So then we can develop. So now you are speaking to a number of people right now. Tell, tell these people that your dreams are valid. Tell these people that you only need an opportunity. You're not asking for mercy, for pity. You are asking for an opportunity to go to school like every other human being, an opportunity to work like every other human being. Tell them.
Yes, we're also human beings. To tell you the truth, I did agriculture, general agriculture.
Mm,
I used to wake up in the morning, go in the fields. I would go and water my plants. I would go and feed the chickens,
mm,
bath the pigs, and give them food. We can do more than what even persons without albinism can do.
mm,
Because we're also human beings.
mm.
Just a skin color cannot separate us. We are one. We say one Zambia, one nation. But if you say one Zambia, one nation, then you are pushing us aside. How are we going to be one Zambia, one nation?
So then I'm gonna get questions from our viewers now. So then we answer together. So this one is coming from Mumasinkala. Mumasinkala is asking, Susan, what type of opportunity do you think right at this moment would really help you? What opportunity do you think would help you right now?
Opportunities that can help. Job opportunities.
Job opportunities.
If you check out, most persons of albinism are not working. They are just home seated, which is not good. Others go there trying to get a skill in schools, but then after getting that, no empowerment, they've got no capital to start up their businesses. So empowerment and job opportunity, that's what. Yes.
Do you need, at any point, do you find sunscreen in a government or government schools? Did you ever at any point go to find sunscreen for people like you?
Sorry, I didn't get what you said.
Did you ever go, when you were at school, did you find sunscreen provided for people with albinism to apply on their skin, so that even when the sun is as blazing and as hot as it gets, for them to apply on their skin?
To be honest, I never found that. And from the time I went to school till I completed, I never found sunscreen.
Did
and what used to happen, they would send us to go and work outside there, even when they know that my skin is easily burnt with the sun. They would just let me to go and work out there. I get burnt. Then if I don't come the next day, I get punished for that again.
Okay. So even in government schools, they were not expecting to have Zambians living with albinism to go into those schools, because if they did, obviously they would be mindful that there are Zambians living with albinism who would need that lotion to apply onto their skin, right?
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna get Muma. Muma is okay. So this one, I just lost the question. Okay, Muma is saying, where are you based? Please connect to me. I would like to introduce you to some amazing people and just find the solution. Please inbox me if you can. So Muma is saying she would like to connect with you, and so I will send Muma. I will contact Muma, and then I'll connect Muma with you and Susan. Adorable Emmanuel is asking, what career do you pursue?
My career?
Yes, what's your career?
I'm guessing, just like I said, that my dreams and careers were shattered. So from the things that I've gone through, I'm trying to pick up my pieces here and there. That's why I'm saying I would love to help persons with albinism, work with them, help them understand, because others have got low self-esteem. They can't stand in public. They can't, even talking to you, they can't talk to you. They are afraid. So as for now, that's one of my dreams, and I think I can even put it as my career.
Okay. So Trust One Bota is asking, which part of Zambia are you from? And what help have you got from your area member of parliament and just the social welfare?
I'm from Lusaka and I haven't gotten any help from any mayor or member of parliament.
So I must mention that Susan works with John Chiti at what's the name of the organization again? Can you tell us about the organization where you're working so then they know you are?
Albinism Foundation of Zambia. The headquarters is in Lusaka.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What does the organization do?
It works with persons with albinism. We distribute sunscreen to them or sun protective equipment, and those that need support, we go out there, we help them with the support and more other things. But it only deals with persons with albinism awareness in short.
Okay. So Susan, have you ever thought that you are unsafe in Zambia? Or walking around, have you felt unsafe?
Very much.
Why?
With the issue of ritual killings. Ish.
Do you know
At
anyone
some
who's
point,
been? Yeah.
there's one girl, I don't know if you've heard of her,
Yeah.
Miriam from Chama. Her hand was chopped off. There's another little girl just last year, December, Doro. Her hand was chopped off. They followed her in the house, you can imagine, in her home. They went there and chopped off her hand. A certain lady again. There are so many cases that makes a person to feel unsafe in their own country. You are walking, you feel people following you. You think they're after my life. It
So
makes
have
you
you? Do you know if the people that did that have been arrested?
The people that did that to Miriam's case, yes, they're
Yeah.
arrested, but the issue has not gone to court yet. And with Doro's issue, they are not arrested. The police said that the suspects have refused.
So it's very difficult. So the suspect refused. So that makes you feel unsafe walking in and moving in your own country.
Because the government is not even protecting us. The police are not even following up those issues. There are a lot of issues. People have been kidnapped. A person was killed in Chipata. No one knows who killed him. Tell me, he was called for a job to go and do a job. Then he's killed there. Tell me, can't you feel unsafe for that?
I'm trying to hold myself together as we have this chat. It's very difficult, and the idea for this program is that the conversations and discussions on inequality are brought closer to the people, because inequality is a subject that has been discussed mainly by academics, scholars, and civil society organizations. And usually, the people that they talk about do not get involved in these conversations. So I invited you so then you could share your story so that no one else can own your story. But you tell your story to the world. And listening to you right now, I feel nobody could have told this story better than you. And it's difficult now to even imagine that it's not even safe. We don't feel safe for you to walk around, especially that there have been people that have lost lives and the suspects are still on the loose because they refuse that they didn't do that. So you don't know where these suspects are. Do you know any other person living with albinism in Zambia who feels like that? They don't feel safe. They would rather be home. They can't go to look for a job like the other one you just talked about, because they are thinking maybe somebody who is asking them to go for a job, he wants to kidnap them. Do you know any other person that feels like that?
Okay, like in most cases, most persons with albinism, more especially those who are found in rural areas,
Yeah.
they feel unsafe. They are afraid. I'll talk of the sister of the girl whose hand was chopped off. She also has a sister with albinism. Now, you can imagine how she feels when she looks at the sister. Her sister's
Mm,
hand is chopped off. Do you feel she can go out there to look for a job? Does she
mm,
feel this country is safe enough for her? Even going out there, she's afraid. She feels her hand also will be chopped off just like her sister's.
mm, mm. I'm going to ask you this again. If the president was listening to you, what would you say to him?
I would love the president to put deliberate laws to protect us persons with albinism.
President Namumfa, there is a community of Zambians that need deliberate intervention. And Susan, economically, who in Zambia do you know living with albinism is your role model? Somebody you look up to and say, I would like to be this guy or this woman. They inspire me. They are doing well economically. They have their house. They have built their house, or they have a business, or they have a company, or they have a job. You look to them and say, I want to be like that man or that woman. Anyone in Zambia.
Okay, my inspiration was Mr. John Chitty.
Mr. John Chitty, yes?
Yes, he was my inspiration. Because of the work he was doing, I got inspired by him. He's the person I would look up to and say, I want to do this because I saw
Mm.
that in him.
Apart from John Chitty, do you know anyone? Not in this time around. I'm not asking for anyone who inspires you, but do you know anyone with albinism in Zambia who is economically doing well?
Mm, no, I don't know. Maybe apart from musicians, I don't know. I've heard of some who are in Livingston. He is a doctor, but I can't say that I could
Yeah.
look up to him because I don't know him.
Mm. So I've got a question from Daliso. What do you need to get started with your work to champion the rights of albinos in Zambia? Daliso Kasonde is asking, what do you need to get started with your work in your work with albinos, like you had indicated earlier?
Just the government to help us uh, socially, financially, economically. Yes.
Mm. How many are you in your family?
In our family, we are five, but I'm the only person with albinism. from a different mother as well.
Mm.
My parents separated after I was born.
Oh, why did they? Is it? Were you the reason why they separated?
Of course.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. How would I say it? Albinism, people think it's a curse. So with that, at the point when I was born, I don't know, maybe my father thought I was a curse, or maybe I wasn't his child. But then again, my mother wasn't also ready.
Mm.
So at some point, my grandmother took me to my father. Yes, I grew up with my father. I stayed with my stepmother, I think from the age of 3. That's when I went
Mm.
to my father's place. It was a bit rough, though we are here today.
Mm. Okay, so Adorable says Elesias Michelo is also an albino, but he's trying to earn a living too. I think he's a teacher now, but I believe he also have some insecurities. He's in Kabwe. So are you? So who are you? Are you with dad? Are you with mom? I think I missed that part.
Okay, my mother passed on when I was young.
Okay,
I am living with my dad right now.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Uh, so we are just told that there is a Mr. Michelo in Kabwe who is also a teacher. Who is a teacher. Why these are important and why I asked if there is any person with living with albinism in Zambia and is way ahead of you. I wanted to I wanted to communicate again what I said, that it's your dreams are still valid. You can still pursue becoming a nurse in Zambia, and it's not too late. So there is somebody who has gone way ahead of you, and
And you first.
is a teacher. Okay. This one is said, Gucci Zambia. Do you think our current government here in Zambia is doing enough to protect people living with albinism? So to say current government, I wouldn't want to reduce it to the current government because we've lived with people with albinism for a long time. Uh, in responding to this, Susan, I wouldn't want you to limit it to the current government because then we'll not be solving the problem. Do you think the Zambian government now and before, do you think the Zambian society, do you think the government in Zambia was doing? Okay, so I lost Susan. Hopefully she's going to come back and answer to that question. So this program is meant for people like Susan, whose stories have been have not been told, or they were told by Pilato because Pilato, hey, chan. So this program is for people whose stories have not been brought to the fore, uh, because the people that own these stories are not sharing the same microphone with Pilato, or they are not politicians, or they are not uh, professors. So this program is meant to bring these discussions to the fore. So like I had earlier mentioned, I did an album called Here I Live. And the idea in the album is to bring these stories, to share these stories, uncompromised realities that our people live in. And Susan is just telling us a story about people living with albinism and how they survive and how they find reality in Zambia. And I do hope that many of you that were watching and I've realized the need to create and advocate for equality in a country like ours. So when we talk about inequality, we're not talking about similarity. We're not saying be like this. No, 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 no. What we are saying is, in the case of education, let everyone have an opportunity to go to school. If people are given the opportunity to go to school, those that will drop out, that's a different story. But those that want to be schooled, those that want to be educated, give them the opportunity. If they choose not to continue with school, it's a different story, but allow them an opportunity. The people living with albinism in Zambia, they are saying the conditions are difficult for them to access education. It's difficult for a person with albinism in Zambia to get an education. And it's not difficult because somebody will send them away. No, no, no. It's difficult because, one, whilst they have a limitation with how far they can see, schools are designed for people with sight, with I don't know what you call these things, people that can see from whatever distance. Our schools are designed like that. So it is difficult for people with albinism to learn from such an environment. And now they've been told to go and learn from schools where they can learn Braille, which now means that they're actually blind in the eyes of the government. As I conclude this program, I'm appealing to the government of Zambia, to the president of Zambia. I'm appealing to every well-meaning Zambian listening to me now, that ideas of a few people are not sufficient enough to sort out our problems as a people. Pilato's ideas, they may be super, they may be excellent, but they are not enough to build a country. The ideas of the politicians may be excellent, but they are not enough to build a country for all of us. Equality and inclusivity implies that everybody is given an opportunity to manifest their ideas. For people living with albinism in Zambia, there is no way Zambia is going to develop. There is no way Zambia is going to fight and end poverty if such a huge population of our people are not brought together with us. If we neglect the need to give them access to quality education, if we neglect the need to empower them with employment, there is no way we will reduce the inequality gap in Zambia if a bigger population of our people are left behind. This has been Here I Live conversations with Pilato, and I had Susan Mwape, and I'm sure her battery died on the way because they didn't have power during the day, so she started charging her phone later this evening. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on Friday. On Friday, I'll bring you again an interesting guest, and I do hope that you tune in, and thank you for watching.
Hey, Pilato, hey. 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 Mairo taishi vikwa. Sama.
But yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past, yeah. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past. I say Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali, Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali. But yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past.
Okay. We all think about the future. Takwabo muntu ukamila ngakulo kuchucha. Chila muntu abane filoto, but what you do today can affect the future. Ngadia shit yako kwilikisho uchushi. Solution kwamba lelo. Fyonse fyoka bilisho kuba. Sendembu tweyo lelo ngolefa yokushinja society twaisangamo wipembela never procrastination never fyonse efikubwesisha panuma kufushalenja nokufushakunuma iseni tupange society the fair iseni tugombele chapamo and do the right thing pantu Zama bazuzibikali
Zama, yeah.
Zama bazuzibikali.
But yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past, yeah. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past. I say Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali, yeah. Zama, Zama bazuzibikali, yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past.
When I try to look around in my society, a lot of things reflect the things that I've been through. Yeah. I don't wanna drop down the zoo that is inside me. Oh, nah, staying strong, stronger like a soldier. Always trying to make it to the top, yeah. And I know no matter how beautiful the future could be, but the past is always gonna be there. And we have to learn from it. We have to learn from the past.
Zama bazuzibikali, Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali. But yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past, yeah. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past. I say Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali, Zama, yeah. Zama bazuzibikali. But yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past, yeah. Yesterday determines today, so we have to learn from the past.
Big man, if you fit to the lelo, the result you have to agi, never to watch today, yesterday. So nga therefore kuchinja ife tukawa maido, saying to change ife turechi danelo. Nga mrefayo kaluke chinso fichi kulu maido, beni akanso fwaka nono lelo.
Alani nkwatako okuyirishanya pamongo omuntu sangwa muno mu market kuno ku Lusaka ku Soweto kuno mulesanga okweba ati omuntu nakwata ka capital ka 100 kwacha ala oja mutuka tundu nombolo oja tuka tundu tulya mwalasanga okweba ati paropo aleta ntika aba kulyamu okufula kwaisa bakajja nabwo ati nifofwe bene bachipani ayamaro Yesu kwaisa bakanso nabo